Hey, Diamond Dashers. My name is Dana Fodatis, for those of you that don't know, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to invite with confidence. So, I first just want to mention that this was something that terrified me in the beginning. Inviting was such a scary thing for me, and looking back on it, it was all because I lacked in self confidence and belief in myself. I first just want to go over kind of how to set the stage of how to invite with confidence, and then I'm going to give you some tips of how to really build relationships with people so that you have more success with your invites. So, my first tip for you with setting the stage is realizing that your social media is really setting the stage. It is your platform for building trust and for getting people to know who you are. And you have to remember to really be real and be vulnerable and share your story and your journey and why you love it. And I like to tell my team, I like to kind of explain it to my team in this way, that when you are a newer coach, you are what I call a cookie cutter coach. So I don't mean that in a negative connotation, but just in the sense that we all do the same workouts, we all drink Shakeology, we all promote the same kind of healthy living and lifestyle. And the only variant of what makes some successful in inviting and some not is, or just in general with this opportunity, is you and what you bring to this, and the passion and the excitement that you share surrounding this opportunity and what all it has to offer. So, remember to be really real and share your journey and share yourself. And the biggest thing is to be vulnerable. And I know that that's hard to hear because that was something I was terrified to do in the beginning, but that was a huge, huge determining factor. For me, being able to really connect with people was when I was really authentic and open and honest about my life and my struggles and obstacles I had overcome, because it really allows people to emotionally connect to you. So don't be a cookie cutter coach, and set the stage on your Facebook page. So the second thing is to be patient with this process and don't compare yourself to others. I know that it's super easy to compare when you see people hitting Success Club with ease, or so you think, and you're struggling with this. And that just means that you have to work a little harder to figure out how this works for you. And I like to think about it this way, that it's often easier to tell ourselves that we can't do something, or we're getting a ton of no's, or nobody wants to join our challenge groups, than it is to acknowledge that this is something we have to actively work on. To acknowledge that we have to change our mindset about it. And, my next tip is you have to believe in yourself, because this is what it all stems back to, is you have to believe you are a good leader. You have to believe that you are a good coach. You have to believe that anybody would be insanely blessed to have you come into their lives and hold their hands on a new journey, whether it be a health and fitness journey or becoming an entrepreneur on your team themselves. So you really, really, really have to be solid in your belief in yourself, and that most likely will come down to you really digging into personal development that speaks to you, and not only just kind of reading books, but really internally applying what you learn from personal development, and then getting out there in the world and applying it. Because if you're learning these things and they're not really impacting you in a positive way and making you a better person and a more confident person, you're going to kind of stay stuck in that sense in your belief. So the only way to work around that is to dive into it. The next thing is, don't give yourself an out. So don't give yourself excuses that you don't have time to do invites every day, or you don't have time to build relationships. Or that, the only time you have is before work in the morning, or on your lunch break, or at night, because there is so many coaches in this company that have made this work with a very small amount of time, and it just comes down to knowing exactly what you need to do when you sit down to work your business. And Inviting is one of the 3 vital behaviors. It is something that you have to be very consistent with to have continuous success in being able to help people every single month. So don't make excuses and give yourself an out of why, if you don't invite today, you can do it tomorrow, or you can do it all on the weekend. It's important to do this every single day and continuously build those relationships. My next thing is to slow down. And this might sound kind of strange, but you really have to slow down in this inviting process. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that I made in the beginning was that I would kind of go in for the kill without really talking to somebody and word vomit all over them because I was so excited about my workouts. And I was so excited how I felt from drinking Shakeology and the energy that I had. And I was so excited about the community and the friends I was making and the positivity on my news feed all day long. And, it's easy to kind of jump the gun and just say, hey, do you want to join my challenge group? It starts in 2 weeks and you'll get fit and happy like me. Or whatever it is that you would, kind of jump the gun and say to people. But you have to really slow down this process and remember that this is a relationship business and that you have to be focused on building relationships if you want to have success in inviting. So these are a few tips for you of how to slow down. So the first thing is to be genuinely interested more than you are interesting. So people want to talk about themselves naturally, and you want to know about people. You want to know about their kids, their lives. What do they do for work? Where do they live? What are their hobbies? And really just kind of build friendships because it takes that level of fear off the table when you're just able to kind of back off and just really care about building a relationship and a friendship with somebody. And you want to make sure that you're kind of feeling them out, and if they seem very hesitant or they're not very responsive, that maybe this isn't the right time for them. And just keep working at building that relationship. The next thing is you really need to be authentic in your conversations, and don't be super quick to respond, because sometimes people will tell you things and you just quickly want to say, like, I have a solution for you. And you really need to slow down and think about where people might be on the other side of that conversation, and really build that trust that you are somebody, that they can go to seek advice or seek help with whatever it is that they are struggling with. So I'm going to give you an example, but something that, people often ask me about is they say, like, I've struggled with self-confidence and self-worth my entire life. And I'm able to say, I know how you feel. I've been there too. And give them a few tips of how I've worked through that myself, whether it's a book that I've read or an article, that I've read, or if it's, tips about positive affirmations. But providing that free value is continuing to build that relationship and build that trust. So another way you can provide free value is doing free groups. So free clean eating groups. I like to run free healthy eating on a budget groups. You can really run a free group on anything that you want, but it's just a way for you to connect with people and share your knowledge and provide free value without expecting anything in return. And if you haven't read the book The Go-Giver, that's a good book that you should read about how you must give freely as a coach. And remember to be genuine. Just you have to really kind of back down and think of what people are thinking when they write you something and what they're really asking for if they've asked you for help. And a great way to really build a relationship even further is forming. So you probably are familiar with forming: family, occupation, recreation, message. So once you kind of have gone through this relationship building and you get to the part about the message, I always like to ask open-ended questions when I'm talking to somebody about their goals or, why they might be interested in joining one of my challenge groups. So these are the questions that I ask them. And I learned this by failing. I learned this by having so many conversations in the beginning that didn't work, or people said no, or people just ignored me and didn't respond. And I really learned some key things to ask that allows me to know how to best help them. So I always ask, are you wanting to lose weight? And if so, how much? Are you currently exercising at all? What type of workouts do you normally like? For example, cardio, strength training, Pilates, yoga, high intensity, low intensity. And how much time do you have to commit to work out a day? And then I wait for those answers, and then I dive into the nutrition aspect. Now, more importantly, how is your nutrition? Do you struggle with knowing what to eat? Do you struggle with knowing what proper portions are? Do you have cravings? How is your energy? Because once I have those responses from someone, I am able to kind of fill in the gap of why this could benefit them. For example, if they tell me that they struggle with cravings and low energy, it's a very easy way for me then to say, I know how you feel. I felt that way too. And what I found is Shakeology has made a huge impact in my energy and, ability to get rid of cravings because I was giving my body the dense nutrition that it needed every single day. And it's been a complete game changer for me. So sharing your story and really making it relatable rather than trying to throw out a laundry list of ingredients, because people don't really care. People aren't buying products, they are buying you, and they are buying what you have to offer and what you can provide them. So remember, in your inviting process, don't discount what you do as a coach. You are their cheerleader, you are their support system. You are somebody that they can go to if they need help with how to meal plan or how to cook, or if they need help with building their self-confidence. I kind of look at this like we are professional life changers, and we have to find that door of where people need change so that we can meet them where they're at and really help them with what they need help with. So remember this acronym, KISS. So KIS, keep it simple. Because for me, once I've really built that relationship and built that trust, and there is no set time period. It might take you 2 days with one person, and it might take you 6 months with others. But keeping it simple in your invites has been really effective for me. So don't overthink it. Don't, get scared. Just put it out there. The worst that somebody can say is no. And it can be something as simple as somebody you've talked to. You can write them and say, hey girl, I remember that, last month we had talked about you wanting to lose 15 pounds. I wanted to let you know that my next challenge group is coming up in 2 weeks. It would be a really great, place for support, accountability, recipes, motivation. I would love to give you some more details about it and see if it's something you're interested in. And if so, I would be happy to save you a spot. Let me know. And that's a super easy way to kind of invite somebody without feeling salesy or putting the pressure on them, because you're giving them the option. But it's also creating a sense of urgency because you're giving them a date of when the next challenge group is, and also creating that sense of urgency by saying, let me know if you want me to save you a spot. Because they're assuming that spot is going to go to someone else if they don't take it. And then you have to kind of look at it with the waitress aspect. And I don't remember where I learned this, but it's like when you sit down at a restaurant and a waitress says, would you like coffee? They don't care if you say no or not. And as a coach, you have to be okay with hearing no or not now, because you're giving them that option, you're planting that seed. And most of the time, people say no because they're not ready for change, or they don't truly understand the value or what you have to offer. So you just have to continue building that relationship, continue sharing on Facebook, and continue setting that stage for you to be somebody that is trustworthy of them to go to for help when they feel like they are ready for it. And just remember to follow up with people and keep giving them that opportunity, because I know for me, I have invited people sometimes for 8 months before they decided to join. I have 2 actually that are 2 of my rockstar coaches that it took me over 8 months of building a relationship and following up with before they decided to join. So you've got to be in this for the long haul to see the momentum build of building relationships. And just really, I guess, not only share the opportunity, but share the community and the environment and the friendships and the excitement and the passion that you have for this. And the more you're able to do that, the more confident you will be in your inviting. And the last thing is, if all else fails, you can always tell people that there's a 30-day money back guarantee, because it kind of takes the pressure off. Well, what if I don't like it? Or what if I fail? Or, whatever it is that they might be thinking. And also the option of referring 3 people to get theirs paid for. I do that often with people that give me a money objection. I say, hey, do you think you have 2 or 3 friends or family members that you could refer, and we can help get yours paid for? So I think that is all I have for you on inviting with confidence. But I just want you to remember that it all comes down to you being confident, and you knowing what you have to offer people as a leader, as a coach, and as a person in general. That you are somebody that is genuine, and you run your business with integrity, and you have a whole lot of heart to help people wherever they may be starting at. So I hope this is helpful. And if you have more questions, I'm happy to answer them. Have a good day, guys. Oh, I forgot one thing. Sorry, but I don't want to have to re-record. A list of 100. Make sure that you have written down a list of 100 people. There is actually a statistic that says that only 20% of people actually do this, and these are the people that become successful. So go through your friends list, go through your phone, go through your email, think about people that you talk to at the grocery store, or at the post office, or your hairdresser. It can literally be anybody, people that you come across when you drop your kids off at school or daycare, coworkers that you work with. Make sure that you're writing these names down so that you have something to work from. And I do this at the beginning of every single month. Even now that I've been a coach for 19 months, I have a list of people that I work from every single month. And I put a star next to their name when I've been forming and having a conversation with them, and I cross them off the list if there's somebody that I signed up. So you always have new people to talk to and new relationships to build. That is absolutely crucial that you do that, and you have something in your face to sit down and work from when you sit down to do your invites. And show up with passion when you do this, guys. It is not that scary. So just sit down, commit to 15 minutes sitting down and sending out 3 to 5 invites a day, or building 3 to 5 new conversations a day, or friend requesting 3 to 5 new people and getting them on your network to have new eyes on what you're sharing. So be consistent with this, show up with a whole lot of heart, and I absolutely believe that you can be successful and confident in your inviting. Bye, guys.